Visual: calm, well-lit room. A person sits at a desk with a laptop, sipping coffee. Papers are organized and a calendar is marked with reminders like pay rent or electric bill due. Peaceful background music plays softly. Voiceover script. Let's talk about one of the most underrated signs that you're doing well financially. Even if you don't realize it, you're paying your bills on time. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's just the bare minimum, right? But in reality, consistently paying your bills on time is a major financial milestone, and one that many people struggle with. Let's break this down for a second. When you're able to pay your rent, electricity, internet, or credit card bills before the due date every month, it means three important things. Number 1. You're managing your cash flow well. This means you're tracking your income and expenses, even if it's just in your head. You're making sure that money is available when you need it, and that's no small feat. Number 2. You're avoiding late fees and interest charges. These small penalties can really add up over time and eat into your hard-earned money. B. Staying on top of your payments, you're actually saving money without even trying. And number 3. You're building a positive credit history. Even if you're not thinking about loans or buying a house right now, your payment history is a big part of your credit score. Paying on time now helps you prepare for bigger financial goals in the future. Still feel like you're not doing enough? Let me tell you this. According to studies, millions of people fall behind on bills due to lack of savings, unexpected expenses, or inconsistent income. If you're staying current, you're ahead of more people than you think. So, the next time you click Pay Now on your bill, don't shrug it off. Celebrate that small victory. That's financial discipline. That's progress. That's a sign you're doing better than you give yourself credit for. Visual: a person receives a notification on their phone. Payday. They check their banking app and smile, seeing money already in the account from last month. They comfortably plan their grocery list or make a small transfer to savings. Voice-over script. Here's another powerful sign you're doing well financially. Even if it doesn't always feel like it, you're not living paycheck to paycheck. Now, what does that really mean? It means when your salary comes in, you're not scrambling to pay for groceries, gas, or rent. It means you have a bit of breathing room, money left over from your last paycheck, or even a small cushion that keeps you from stressing day to day. Let's be real. In today's economy, living paycheck to paycheck is extremely common. Many people earn decent incomes but still feel broke, simply because their expenses rise as fast as their income. But if you're managing to spend less than you earn, even just a little, and you're not desperately waiting for payday just to make it through the week, that's a clear sign of financial stability. Even if you're not rich, even if you haven't hit your savings goals, even if your bank balance isn't massive, that gap between what you earn and what you spend, that's where freedom starts. That's what gives you options. If your bills are paid, your fridge is stocked, and you still have money left over for tomorrow or next week, you're doing better than you think. Visual. The person closes the app, stretches with relief, and starts planning a weekend activity or writing a savings goal in a notebook. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. If you've built enough control over your money to stop living paycheck to paycheck, give yourself credit, because that's not easy. Visual. A person opens a savings app labeled Emergency Fund or Rainy Day Fund. The balance shows a few $100 or $1,000. They smile and close the app, looking relieved. Cut to a flashback of car trouble or medical bill, but the person handles it calmly. Voiceover script. Here's sign number 3, that you're doing better financially than you think. You have an emergency fund. Now, it doesn't have to be a huge amount. Even having $500 to $1,000 set aside for unexpected expenses is a strong indicator of financial responsibility. Think about it. If your car suddenly breaks down, if your phone stops working, Or, if you have a surprise medical bill, would you be able to handle it without panicking or borrowing money? If your answer is yes, that's because you've done something powerful. You've built a buffer between you and life's surprises. An emergency fund gives you peace of mind. It means you're not just surviving. You're planning ahead. You're telling your money what to do instead of letting life push you around. Most people don't have this. In fact, studies show that a large percentage of people couldn't cover even a $400 emergency without going into debt. So, if you've got that safety net in place, no matter how small, you're already ahead of the curve. And here's something else to keep in mind. Your emergency fund isn't just money. It's confidence. It's security. It's the freedom to handle a bad day without making it worse. So, if you've put even a little bit aside for the just-in-case moments in life, take a moment and be proud of yourself. Because building that habit, no matter how slowly, is a sign of real financial growth. Visual. The person puts a small amount of cash into a rainy day jar, smiles, and gets back to their daily routine feeling more in control. Visual. A person walks through a grocery store, picking up essentials like fruits, vegetables, and milk. At the checkout, they pay using a debit card or cash. The screen shows payment successful. The person leaves looking calm and confident. Voiceover script. Let's talk about another clear sign that you're doing better financially than you may think. You're not relying on credit cards to cover basic needs. Now, don't get me wrong. Credit cards themselves aren't bad. When used wisely, they can build credit, earn rewards, and offer convenience. But there's a big difference between using a credit card by choice and using it because you have no other option. If you're not using credit cards to buy groceries, gas, or pay bills because your cash flow covers your needs, that's a big win. It means you're living within your means. You've budgeted well enough that you don't need to borrow just to get through the week, and that alone puts you in a stronger position than many people out there. A lot of folks swipe their card at the store, not because they want points, but because their bank account is empty. If you've ever been there, you know how stressful that can be. So, if you're no longer stuck in that cycle, if you can buy everyday items with your own money and not fall into debt just to eat or commute, you're doing something right. You've created stability. You're not just reacting. You're in control. Even if your savings aren't huge. Even if you're still paying off debt. The fact that you're covering your basics without leaning on borrowed money, that's a strong, powerful sign of financial health. Visual. The person tucks away their debit card and walks home peacefully, grocery bag in hand. Optional cut. A credit card stays untouched in their wallet. So give yourself credit. The real kind. Not the plastic kind. You're doing better than you think. Visual. A person sitting at a desk with a notebook titled Future Goals. They open a savings app, transfer a small amount into an account labeled Investments or Savings. Cut to them smiling while visualizing dreams. Maybe a house, travel, or retirement. Voiceover. Script. Here's another sign that you're financially on the right track. Even if it doesn't feel like it yet, you're saving for the future. Let's be honest, saving money can feel slow, boring, and sometimes even pointless when the amounts are small. But here's the truth most people overlook. Every dollar you save is a step closer to freedom. Whether you're saving for a house, a car, retirement, a vacation, or just a better life, the habit of saving means you're thinking ahead. It shows that you're not just living for today, you're planning for tomorrow. And in a world full of instant gratification and impulsive spending, that's rare and powerful. You don't have to be putting away hundreds of dollars each month to be successful. Even saving $20, $50, or whatever you can consistently adds up. Because it's not just the amount, it's the mindset. You're telling your money where to go. You're making your future a priority, even when life is busy or uncertain. Most importantly, You're creating options. Savings give you choices, whether that's leaving a stressful job, investing in something meaningful, or handling an emergency without panic. So if you've started putting money aside, no matter how small, give yourself credit. You're building something. You're preparing for something, and that's a major financial win. Visual. Person writes in their notebook. Keep going. You're doing great. They smile, close the notebook, and go about their day with a sense of purpose.